Oh, you lot, let's talk Villa, and more specifically, Aston Villa's probably first guaranteed signing of the summer transfer window. A person who I've done a video on already on this channel is Cameron Archer. So as you can see on the screen, I actually made this video, I think it was the 21st of June, like 2021 or 2022, about Cameron Archer being Villa's breakout star. He'd just come off of a couple of successful loans, which we'll get into a little bit later. Playing for the England under-21s, he was like their main talisman for like a little bit. I think he's got 6 goals in 11 appearances for them. And it all was looking hunky-dory for Cameron Archer. I think everyone kind of thought that him, Jaden Philogene-Badace, who was obviously the subject of the last video, and Carney Chukwuemeka, who obviously went to Chelsea, were going to be our 3 breakout stars. That was obviously in 2021. And why are we bringing him back up now? Obviously, he's been playing for Sheffield United this season. But if we bring this up here, you can see that we sold Cameron Archer to Sheffield United. Sheffield United are probably one of the worst football teams that the Premier League has ever seen. I don't think it's any fault of Cam, but they're just terrible, aren't they? Like, their goal difference is like -50. When we beat them 5-0, obviously when we drew 1-1 to them, Cameron Archer actually scored, but when we drummed them 5-0, they haven't really looked like a Premier League team at all the entire season. And as you can see in the article, we have an 18 million obligation to buy him back if Sheffield United are relegated. Let's be honest, there's literally no reality in this world where Sheffield United stay in the Premier League. So Cameron Archer, congratulations. I think you're Villa's first guaranteed summer signing. So I thought it might be interesting to dive into what could be next for him, who he is as a player, and if he's going to get any game time when he comes back to Villa in the summer. So you look at who Cameron Archer is as a player, and he's an out-and-out striker pretty much. As you can see there, 13 games at centre forward this season. He's played second striker, attacking mid and left wing, but it's just not his position. He is an out-and-out striker. He's 22 years old. He'll be 23 in December, so he'll be 22 when we sign him back. And obviously playing for Sheffield United this season. If we go over to his sort of performance by competition as like a whole of his whole career, pretty decent stats for a striker. 18 goals in 40 games in the Championship, registering 7 assists as well. Obviously the 4 goals that he's got this season for Sheffield United in 31 games in the Premier League. 10 goals, 5 assists in 28 games in the Premier League 2. National League, I think he played for Solihull, 4 goals in 26. 7 in 7 in the EFL Trophy, under 18s, 2 in 12. The EFL Cup, 4 in 5. I think that was for Villa, wasn't he? He scored against like Chelsea. He was banging goals in that season, and an assist in the FA Cup as well. But we move in to this season here. If we scroll across, this season obviously playing for Sheffield United. Again, like I mentioned earlier, a team that's struggling to create anything. He's their joint top goal scorer with only 4 goals in the Premier League with Ollie McBurney. 22 games, 1,454 minutes played, only 16 starts, and with an average rating of around 6.7. He's got 4 goals and no assists. If we look at his player traits compared to other forwards in the same league, 29% for touches, 81% for chances created, so he is trying in that Sheffield United team. I mean, would any of you lot want to play in that team? Probably not. Defensive actions, okay. Goals below half, and then shot attempts, 15%. If we bring up his shot accuracy map, 31% from 29 shots. He's got 4 goals. His expected goals is 4.06, so he's pretty much bang on for the amount of chances that he's getting. He's tucking away the chances that he's expected to. Obviously, he's not vastly outperforming his XG like someone like Bailey is, but he's pretty much bang on par for where he should be. Obviously XG doesn't mean a thing, because I think one of his goals, I think it was actually that one against Luton, wasn't it? No, that was the closer one. I think it was like Wolves or someone, he scored from well far out. It was a banger. Right-footed player anyway, and we compare him here against sort of other players, and this is obviously not his per 90s, this is his overall ranking against strikers in the Premier League this season. Obviously the 4 goals is orange there. His expected goals, expected on target, his non-penalty XG, his shots, so like I say 29 shots in total this season. That's like a shot a game. for a striker in the Premier League. It just tells you everything you need to know about Sheffield United. One thing I would say is his pass accuracy, 81%, is right up there. His cross accuracy, 33%, is right up there. His chances created, 18, is right up there as well. The fact he has no assists and he's created 18 chances, again, probably more of a reflection on Sheffield United than it is on Cameron Archer. And his successful dribbles, 26, is right up there as well. His defensive actions aren't on that screen, but they are quite high as well. And then that's just a breakdown of his whole career. So we can go through that pretty much bit by bit. Obviously, his first loan to Solihull Moors, he was young. I think he played on the wing more back then. So you can't really take that for Bible. And then his first loan that got him a little bit of attention was when he played for Preston North End. 7 goals in 20 games, and the Preston fans absolutely loved him as a player. I remember seeing so much on Twitter. Then he went on loan to Middlesbrough. Obviously, that's when he came back and I said, like, is he going to be our breakout star? It didn't really work out for him. Went on loan to Middlesbrough where he got 11 goals and I think 7 assists in just 23 games. Again, Middlesbrough fans loved him. They wanted to keep him. Is his ceiling at the Championship? That's something to just take into consideration. And then obviously now, Sheffield United, 4 goals in 24 games. But just to kind of throw it back to when he was on loan, I mean, this is an article that was, or like a tweet that was out from the Football Talent Scout. 16 games, 8 goals, 6 assists, 1 penalty, 1. Directly involved in a goal every 79 minutes and a 29% conversion rate. And that was when he was at loan at Middlesbrough. So that's how highly thought of he was. He was so highly thought of when he had those Championship loans. Obviously, this season, it just didn't really work out for him getting into the Villa team for whatever reason. There's players ahead of him. When you actually look at our injuries and stuff, could we have used him this season? And it ended up in that glorified loan to Sheffield United. Obviously, if they would have stayed up, we wouldn't have bought him back. They're relegated, let's be honest, they're relegated. They've been gone since way before December. And he's going to be coming back to Villa, our first guaranteed signing. What do I think the future holds for him in terms of his competition at the club, who we might sign in the summer, and where do we go when he comes back through the doors of Bodymoor Heath after this season ends and Sheffield United are eventually relegated? What do you guys think first? Leave that down in the comments below. I'll get into my thoughts right now. So obviously... So obviously, first thing to take into consideration is who he's going to be competing against for those spaces. Now, Emery plays 2 up front, so you have the option of 2 strikers. At the moment, you look at who we deploy in those positions. Obviously, Ollie Watkins is one of the first names on the team sheet. His position is secure. Then you have John Duran, which I think is an interesting comparison. You know, is Duran above Cameron Archer in terms of talent and ability? I think he's more of a raw talent. Cameron Archer, for me, is just a tad more refined and definitely a better finisher than John Duran. I think John Duran's a bit more erratic, but Duran is quicker, he's more physical. Cameron Archer's a bit of like a short, stocky player. He is quick and he is strong, but he's not the physical specimen that Duran is. But then will Duran even be at the club? You know, if you take Archer back for 18 million and sell Duran for 40 to AC Milan or Inter Milan, is that a good bit of business? We play Yuri Tielemans there as well. Obviously not a striker, but he's kind of made that role his own. Funny enough, I think Tielemans and Archer look a little bit alike, but is Archer going to be getting in the team over him? Probably not. You have Morgan Rogers to think about, who can play that position. Picked up a lovely assist for the England under-21s in a position that you think, oh, that could actually work if he was playing that position and Watkins was playing off of him. And then you have anyone that we sign this summer. We haven't been out and out linked to any attackers, but I think this season has showed that Villa struggle for attacking options. You know, when Duran was injured, if Watkins got injured, our season would pretty much be over. You also have Bailey and Diaby to think about. Sometimes they play in that split striker role, but I think they're both best on the wing because our strikers are back to goal and hold up players, which is another thing to think about. He does create chances. We've seen that for Sheffield United this season, and you saw that in his stats. But I don't think he's a back-to-goal type player. He's good at running in behind, getting into those spaces. And like I say, 22 years old. Is his ceiling a little bit below Aston Villa? Probably. Maybe Aston Villa did honestly believe that Sheffield United would be staying up. Otherwise, we would have just loaned him out, surely. And I think it might just be a bit of an oversight on Villa, to be honest. And you know, Cameron Archer's a great player, don't get me wrong. And I wish him all the best in the future. But what do I think is going to happen when he comes back to Villa? I think we're just going to be shipping him straight out the door again. I think we're going to be looking to sell him on. He was pure profit last season. Now he won't be pure profit, so we're going to have to try and find a deal for him where someone's willing to pay more than 18 million. I think it more than likely will be a Championship club, so I don't think we're going to recuperate all of our money there. We're going to have to take that slight loss. It was a gamble, this deal. I think we got a little bit of money for him when we sent him to Sheffield United. Obviously that obligation to buy back is a bit of probably the issue behind that. But I think unfortunately for Cameron Archer, he's going to be coming back to Villa and then just going straight away. I can't see the progression that I see out of like Jadon Philogene Badace down at Hull. I can't see the progression like Carney Chukwuemeka's made at Chelsea. I think Duran has probably leapfrogged him in terms of what he can offer. He's a bit more dynamic in that split striker role. You think of Tielemans, Rodgers. Are we going to sign an attacker in the summer? And look, maybe Unai will give Cameron Archer a bit of a run out in pre-season and see what he's about, see if he's improved at his time at Sheffield United. Playing, men's football in the Premier League is going to improve a player. And like I say, you can't really look at his stats this season and take that much from it because Sheffield United are so poor. If there's any Sheffield United fans watching this as well, let me know what you think about Cameron Archer and if you actually think that he's better than maybe we think. Obviously, I don't watch every Sheffield United game in and out because it probably is quite a bit depressing as their fans know. But I just don't think he's good enough for Villa at the moment. I think where we're at. Can you see Cameron Archer playing Premier Champions League football? Neither can I. But let me know what you think. He's probably our first guaranteed summer signing, like I say. And unfortunately, I think he's just going to be sold in the same summer. It's brutal, but sometimes that is football. What do you guys think? I'm going to have one more video out next week before the Wolves preview. As always, up the Villa. Be nice to everyone. I look forward to your comments, and I'll see you soon.